Good evening. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Jason.
And we are Craving
Cinematics.
Cinematics. So this week, Jason and I went to see Spiderman Homecoming. So we'll just jump right into it and see what Jason thought of it.
I liked it. It was a great movie. So first of all, let's just say that the reason that we chose this movie is because we thought it would be a great inaugural video for Craving Cinematics. We picked the summer's first blockbuster, one that was highly anticipated, that really got some good reviews out the gate. So we decided that we'd start with this one. And I'll have to say, I was really hyped about this movie. And it's been a long time since I've been excited about a movie like this. Star Wars, Force Awakens was probably the last one that I've been really excited about. Oh, okay. So I was really excited about this one. What about you?
Well, I wasn't as excited. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of tired. I'm superhero inundated. And so I was kind of like, well, all right, go see it at the movies or sit at home and watch it on my 80-inch TV screen with my, recliner and a cup of hot Earl Grey tea, sounded really good. But with it being the first movie, really, of the summer, the kickoff movie of the summer, I was like, all right, we'll go see it. And I'm really glad we did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie experience. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And I like how now we can watch movies and have Earl Grey tea. Apparently that's now a thing. I like that.
Yes.
Yes. So
it's lovely.
But in any case, we decided to watch Spider-Man Homecoming. And let me tell you, this was really a fun movie. It was great for pretty much the entire family. Mm-hmm. And the acting was really great. Oh,
yes.
The graphics were great. The music was wonderful. And we're going to go into detail about that in just a moment. What was your overall impression after you were done watching this movie?
When I finished watching the movie, my overall impression was I was glad I saw it at the movie theater. Secondly, I was blown away by Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man. Oh my goodness. All right. We found out he's 20 years old. A little young for me, but he sure is cute. He really is. And a great actor. Not just cute, but has a range well beyond his years, I think.
Absolutely.
What really impressed me is he showed a real humanity to the character of Spider-Man, that he's not just a superhero, but that he's a human, and he hurts, and he's sad, and he has doubts. That's what I really liked, is that he had a lot of doubts about whether he could do Spider-Man or not. He had the want, and there, of course, is the need, but could he fulfill that? And it was kind of a struggle. I saw the struggle in him, and I liked that.
The brilliant part of this movie is that it really created a realistic vision of who Peter Parker would be if you had a young man in high school who gained these spider superpowers. You saw the awkwardness of high school. You saw him coming to grips with having all of these new powers, and really initially giving him a bigger sense or a larger sense of purpose, but not quite sure how to deal with that yet.
Yeah. Well, he's young, Did you know what you wanted to do in high school?
I don't really remember that far back. I think so. But
I didn't know.
I think I wanted to do movie critiques. No.
well, here you are, 50 years later.
Score. Okay.
No, anyway. He did. He came off. He played the high school student very well. He's not far out of high school himself.
No.
But he really did a really good job with that. But the other character I was really fascinated with was the strong character of the villain, Vulture, who is played by Michael Keaton. Now, Michael Keaton is more my age, and he's hot too, y'all. I'm just saying.
I will admit, he's a great guy to model an acting career off of.
Yeah.
I really like him, and initially when I saw him in the movie and I knew he was going to be in it, I was worried about his iconic
Batman.
Roles coming into play and maybe taking away from this role.
Yeah.
I was thinking Batman, Beetlejuice, Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom, yes. I forgot he was in Mr. Mom.
You can't forget that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But after a while, and as the movie progressed, very quickly, he became the character of Vulture and the alter ego. And you forgot about all of his other roles.
You forgot about his other roles.
He played very well.
Mm-hmm. And I liked the character development of the bad guy, of the villain. It was strong, and that I feel that's what's been a little bit lacking in some of the other, superhero movies, is that the villain's just kind of there. He's bad, yeah, but, You
almost feel sympathetic for him. You almost understand where he's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also understand why Peter Parker would not understand, because as you're young, you have the black and white.
Yeah.
And as you get older, everything becomes gray.
Yeah.
So.
And you have to go see the movie to understand where the black and white and then the gray for the villain comes in, because there's a shock, or at least it was to me, a huge shock, oh my gosh moment,
Absolutely. That's one of the really great things about this movie, is that the pace was fantastic.
Yeah.
There wasn't a minute that was wasted, and there were some twists and turns that were actually surprising. And I'm not surprised often when it comes to movies. So this was a really fun movie in a lot of ways, and I was very pleased with it.
The other shot, what was funny to me is the very end. The last sentence of the very end, Marissa Tomei, beautiful lady.
Absolutely.
Beautiful lady. It's just uncharacteristic, and it's not something you're going to expect. But I laughed my butt off, y'all. My butt was gone.
Family. Moving on. So, what would you say there was anything that maybe detracted, or that you wish the movie would have done better with?
Yeah, there were a few little things, and they're so minor. And you're asking me to find something wrong with it. So, all right, I'll find something wrong. There are a couple of little areas that got a little on the political side that, for me, weren't necessary. That if they hadn't been put in the movie, it wouldn't have detracted, they weren't missing. They wouldn't have been missing if they weren't in the movie. And it took away a little bit my attention to the storyline when I heard them, because I sat there going, why'd they have to add that line? And there were like 2 or 3 of them.
I didn't have a problem with I think I know what she's talking about. And I didn't have a problem with them being in there. I think, though, that the presentation pulled away. It pulled me away out of the movie for the few minutes. So I think there could have been a different presentation for it. But otherwise, it was so minute, not even really
Yeah, it really is. So besides that, it's a long movie. It's 2.5 hours.
But you don't know it. I didn't know it.
I didn't fall asleep. And for me, going to a movie and falling asleep is really a common occurrence if you're not holding my attention. So
we're gonna call that the benchmark, whether or not Kelly falls asleep.
Yeah, well, it's probably a good benchmark. But overall, and I loved the score. The soundtrack is going to be fantastic.
There was even a treat at the beginning in the score, which I think anybody who's known Spider-Man for a long time is going to recognize the treat. You can't do that.
I can.
No.
Everyone knows Spider-Man and the music, but the way they put it together, it was just, I loved it. I could listen to it over and over again and be very pleased.
And the other part of the music that I really enjoyed was that it paid tribute to the Avengers score without taking the Avengers score. Like it had a flavor of the Avengers in the music, but it made it its own score.
Okay, well, so yes, you're right. So one of the biggest concerns that people had with this was how much of the Avengers was going to be, how much of Tony Stark, how much of Iron Man, was it going to be Iron Man clad heavy?
Yes, and that was a worry, and I had that same worry. The Avengers play a role indirectly, because if it weren't for the Avengers, this movie probably would not occur.
Okay, yeah.
You would not have the villain, and you wouldn't have the conflict.
Right.
But other than that, Tony Stark and Iron Man was in there just enough.
Yeah. I don't think it was too much. I think it added to the movie.
Absolutely, yes.
It added to the movie. So what about the other superhero?
That one?
Yeah.
I like the way that they used him. I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
No, I don't know.
It's really fun. The way that they use this other particular character was wonderful and fun, and if you didn't pick it up off that, I don't know what to tell you. So, but I enjoyed it. Everything was used very well. I mean, the props, the visual props, the visual...
what about CGI? What'd you think?
CGI was fantastic. Now, I will say that I do have a little bit of astigmatism, and apparently I heard that there were some minor details that were missing on certain shots, but because I didn't have my glasses on, I missed them. So I think I was kind of graced that way.
Okay, well, I don't have astigmatism. Is that how you say it?
Astigmatism.
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 Yes.
I don't have one of those. And so I was able to see it because I have my contacts in. And I was pleased. I was very pleased with the CGI. I actually kind of forgot because the storyline was so good and it was moving along so well. And it was put together so well that I just didn't even realize I was watching CGI. So.
Yeah, there were no graphics that pulled it away from me.
Yeah. No.
If anything, it was only some dialogue in the middle of the movie that really was minute, a minutia of dialogue. Minutia.
Ooh, how do you spell that?
I don't know. I just use the words.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's good. Minutia is a good word.
What would you say was the best thing that you pulled out of leaving this movie?
Okay, the best,
without spoiling anything.
Without spoiling anything, the best thing that I pulled out of this movie was the life lesson that Peter Parker portrayed to me. And it just may be me that got this life lesson, but that was that until you are comfortable with yourself and can rely on yourself and be yourself, you can't be a superhero, basically. You won't be able to handle the role of being a superhero until you know who you are.
I think I know what you're saying, and actually I think it was a nice spin on the Spider-Man mantra that we've been hearing for the last 15 years or so. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. I think that what they did is put a spin on that without, beating a dead horse, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely.
It was really nice, and
again, Tom Holland, the way he played it just was beautiful.
Yes, it was very believable. If you could suspend reality enough to believe that there's a superhuman or a superhero with spider powers, it was realistic enough to where you could really enjoy this and believe that it was occurring.
Okay, well, we are that's our review for this evening, and we hope you've enjoyed it. We really do suggest that you go see Spider-Man Homecoming. It's a very good show.
I would highly recommend you make sure you see it in theaters.
Theaters, yeah.
Yes, this is definitely a theater movie, and you really want to enjoy the cinematic experience.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
If you like this video, please take the time to subscribe, get some alerts from us, because we definitely want you to be able to see these videos and share them with other people.
Please share them, yes. And if you really liked it, give us a thumbs up. And please. We're not beyond begging.
No.
We love to have viewers, and we want you to join in with us. So subscribe, hit the alert button, and like us. And we'll see you next time on Craving Cinematics.
Have a great one.